Follow the shiny object.
And then they'll find the next new shiny object.
It's a big shiny object that'll leave us distracted and defeated.
I'll just throw a little shiny object at Grace, and she'll be too distracted to notice that her mother's never around.
And when training a terror, start with a very shiny object.
You thought by dangling some shiny object in front of me, I would be tempted to leave the contest?
Shiny object syndrome had me running in circles. Like, y'all are in the middle of me finding myself distracted. And literally that's what this video is going to be about. I dislike being distracted, but here I am finding myself distracted. And I'm being honest when I say syndrome, because it's a real syndrome now. It's a real thing. Don't look it up. It will literally have you running in a circle, like a full throttle, like 360, not a 180, like, oh, let me stop and come back to myself. No, a 360. And I say that because I would start working toward becoming a web developer, see another opportunity online, convince myself, oh, I can do that too. And then abandon my original focus. And then months later, I would find myself right back at my desk trying to continue the goal I had already started. And what you just saw me doing is a part of the problem. It's a part of the problem, okay? Like doom scrolling, it does not just waste your time. It can completely redirect your life. And don't pause and try to read all my notifications. A lot of it is really ads from let me see. Amber alerts. A lot of it's just missed messages. Text messages from restaurants, the little reward programs I get signed up, you sign up for, they send you messages and stuff telling you not to miss out. I'm getting distracted again. Anywho, every time you scroll, you are being shown another person making money through a new business, talent, platform, or career. For example, you see someone, and I'm not going to say just you, I, me, we, see someone selling clay art and think, I could start an art business. You see someone making handmade products and think, I could sell those too. Oh, and for all my streamer yous out there, my streamer you supporters, you watch streamer university content and suddenly think, maybe I should become a streamer all of a sudden. Or then you consider starting a gaming channel. Oh, this is a good one. You start seeing people discussing real estate and think about entering real estate, even without having a license or a plan. You don't have anything prepared. You're just ready to move on to the next thing and think, oh, I can just start all over. And a lot of people tell you it's okay to start over. Sometimes it's not. It's not, because then you become addicted to starting over and you get nowhere. So it's not okay to keep starting over. It's not, especially when you find yourself back where you started. So stop listening to the internet all the time. None of those paths that I've mentioned, doing real estate, starting an art business, streaming, handmade products, an Etsy shop, gaming channels, none of those things are automatically bad. The problem is that those were not the specific goals that I had already chosen for myself. They literally became distractions served to me on a silver platter. And a lot of times it's not distractions. A lot of times it's just misorganization. And what I mean by that is it's not the time to start that yet. It's an idea that I could put somewhere, that I could store somewhere. And after I finish my goal that I set for myself, then I can move on to the next thing. But a lot of times when you doom scroll, you're consuming so much. And if you are a creator, If you are a creative person, if you are innovative, if you are a visionary, you see your ideas and you want to bring them to life just like that. And a lot of times that can be your biggest downfall because you're instantly trying to grab hold or grab reach of the idea and forget everything else and start on something you just thought of. It's not time yet. Like, you need to find a place to store your ideas so you don't get overwhelmed and get to the point where you find yourself picking up bad habits such as doom scrolling to distract yourself and make yourself feel like you're being productive by, oh, now I got to go download this book. Oh, I'm just doing a mini research. Oh, look, I found this TikTok creator and they're talking about this website. Now I got to go to this website. Oh, like, there's this master class and it's for free. Now I got to sign up and go join this master class for free. And you're getting further and further and further away from your goal that you set for yourself or the career path that you want to go down. But in your mind, you're thinking you're getting closer by making, especially if you struggle with high performance tendencies, you want to excel at everything. You want to be the best. You have to be the best. You have to be perfect. Especially if you struggle with that type of thing, you're gonna want to combine all of that. And in your mind, you think you're just being successful. You think you're just being proactive. You think you're just being productive. In reality, you're stuck. You're stagnant. That's where it brings me into the instant shiny object syndrome. And if you don't know what the shiny object syndrome is, let me pull out my notes so I can give you the definition.
Hey, y'all mind if I change this? They're announcing a new iPhone today.
Didn't you just get one?
Yeah, but this one's gonna be like faster battery. What is this?
Take a seat, Daniel.
Why can't I change the channel?
Parental controls.
It's time to admit you have a problem, Daniel.
We're trying to help you, Daniel.
Can y'all stop saying my name so much? It's freaking me out.
We got a glimpse of something that's catching your eye. You wanna buy this thing, no good reason why. You've got shiny object syndrome.
Shiny object syndrome? Pay attention, Daniel.
It's for your own good.
All right.
You spend a bunch of cash on crap you don't need. You bought 100 books that you're never gonna read. SOS. You've got shiny object syndrome. You're trying to get your life more organized, but this gas time skill has got you hypnotized. Bought a Peloton to improve your physique, and now you're moving on to being big for a week. Bought a drill set and you practice it daily, till you decided you wanted the ukulele. Bought a journal to record what your mood is now, then threw it all away because you said your mood is now. You've got shiny object syndrome.
I was Buddhist, though. You made us throw you a bar mitzvah last week.
That's true.
This definition is going to come from Fidel. He is someone who created a group called Web Designer Collective to help people from all different angles, from all different communities, past wherever you've come from, to learn how to become a web designer. Whether it's freelancing, whether it's joining an agency, he basically teaches us how to get our first client. And I've joined that like last October. I've run in circles everywhere and I find myself back into this group all the time because I paid for this. I paid to be a member of it because I can't get past a certain level within this group because he holds us accountable. Like, he gives us assignments, he gives us work. He literally wants us to succeed. And because I find myself not being able to know how to do one thing, I find myself doing another thing. And it's okay to admit that, okay, I don't know how to do this, and then move on to something else to give your brain some breathing room. But the thing about it is, I work a 9 to 5. I am a manager. I'm an assistant manager for Chipotle, right? So I work long hours. Not only that, I am enrolled in free education, meaning I'm in school. So I study for long hours. And now I find myself getting burnt out to the point where I want nothing to do with school. I'll be honest. I want nothing to do with school. Like, I just put it to the side. Like, I find myself doing my homework now at the last minute. That's how bad I'm just like, ugh, next semester, I'm not going. Like, I'm just going to tell them, don't even enroll me. Like, I just need a break because I'm just like over it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I haven't even got to my degree is on web development, right? And we're taking a little detour, but my degree is on web development. And I'm not even close to learning anything about web development. Like, they're telling me I have to take the basic foundational courses. I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to do this anymore. It's too much. It's too much. So yeah, like with all of that, I find myself realistically struggling to move forward in the next step. This group that I know can help me press forward in my goals to be a web designer. That's what I set for myself. I set mileage to be a freelance web designer. But because I am distracted, and it's crazy, in his video, when I first came across his page, he teaches us about the mindset. He teaches us how to dismantle the fear, the lies, the deception of what it takes to be on the path of web designing. And I just discovered one of my weaknesses. It's having shiny object syndrome. So going back to it, a good definition that he put is basically he broke it down into two sections, right? The first section is the shiny object. A shiny object is something that deals with market hype, distraction from your goals, emotional appeal, something that appeals to your emotion, and something that gives you an immediate gratification, right? So it's something that's trending, something very popular that catches your attention. While on the other side, there are dull objects. These objects, they are boring. They require effort. It is long lasting. It is more rational. It's a rational appeal. You're able to think more logical. And so basically, shiny objects syndrome is when you get new, exciting ideas or projects that grab your attention quickly. So, for instance, which he brought up, today you could want to be a web developer. Tomorrow you could scroll on the internet and see an advertisement for how to make good money doing real estate working from home without having a license. Oh, you can just make money from working from home, and you like, oh, snap. Especially if you're in that mode of like, I ain't really feeling my job no more. I just want to stay home. I don't want to stand on my feet no more. If you're already internally battling that and you feel that on the inside, instead of thinking rationally and not logically and going back over your goals, if you set any for yourself, which I recommend you set SMART goals for yourself and casually look over them, because if not, you're going to abandon those goals and go to something else. Then you hop on the internet and you see, oh, this community over here, they're sharing their testimony about how they just booked their first client working from home, doing real estate without any background, without knowledge, without a license. And so now today, you're like, hey, yes, I'm so happy to be on the path to web development. Tomorrow it's like, oh, I can join real estate. And then boom, real life, by the way. While real estate is part of my plan, it is a part of my plan futuristically to own own property. It's not something I should be trying to rush into, but for me personally, because I already set down my milestone of what I want to do, what I want to be, what I want to own, real estate is a part of that. But because I felt the rush to want to, the temptation to have to know it all now, I signed up for a class, which I have access to forever, I think, but I wasn't ready for that. And so I abandoned that. Not only did I abandon that, I abandoned this over here. And so I just abandoned everything. And it's like, here comes a distraction. You're doom scrolling to try to find your next high. You're trying to find something else that you're trying to cling on to. And it's just like, wait a minute, like pull yourself back, like wake up, get up, get up. But seriously, like shiny objects are powerful because they provide that instant gratification. Starting something new feels exciting. Planning a new business feels productive. Keyword feels. Choosing a logo, creating an account, buying supplies, researching equipment, or imagining how much money you could make gives you an immediate emotional reward. Like it makes you feel like you're doing something. Like it is so easy to go to YouTube and look up how to make a logo and then follow that tutorial and make it feel like you are close to your dreams. Why? Because it gives you that false sense of productivity. And a lot of us get stuck on that. Like, oh, we got the name of our business now. We got the logo. Some of y'all go as far to get the trademark and don't even use it. No shade. But it's like, we do all these steps to feel emotionally prepared. And it still never brings us closer because it was never about getting closer. It was always about feeling gratified. Like, oh, I'm capable of doing this. I'm capable of doing, like, you give yourself that self like affirmation of, yeah, I can do this. Like, I just showed you what I can do. And you never get beyond that. You never get beyond past actually helping somebody. And let's say you do one or two people, but it never takes off. It never goes further than the small circle that you may have. So on the flip side of that, continuing an existing goal is rarely as exciting. Continuing means practicing. It means studying when you're tired. It means debugging code. It means completing projects after the excitement has disappeared. The new opportunity gives you dopamine immediately, but the original goal requires patience before it gives you results. That brings us to the I can do that trap. One of my biggest struggles is seeing someone else succeed and immediately telling myself, I can do that. Because I can. I actually can. There's no and ifs or buts. Like there is no doubt in the world that I can. I can. I am just that type of person. But being capable of doing something does not mean I am called, prepared, or required to pursue it right now. That mindset caused me to keep adding new identities. So just going to name them out for you. These are things that I'm dealing with now and I constantly keep dealing with. And, some of you might feel the same way, but realistically, I'm someone who loves to multitask. I am someone who feels like I'm the jack of all trades and I absolutely can do it. You ask, you got it. Like you say it, I'm gonna find a way to figure it out. And just adding on the new identity of being a web developer, a graphic designer, a content creator, a streamer, a gaming creator, an artist, a business owner, an IT professional. Like the list can keep growing, but my progress in one clear direction was slowing down. So while I may have been 10% on this path starting out, that 10% got drained completely and distributed and turned into 1% to each thing. And we're not meant to be doing that at the beginning. Like unless you probably have like a team or something, realistically trying to give 1% each day to something at one time, it's going to drain you. It's going to slow you down and you're not going to make any progress. So becoming a jack of all trades, being good at everything and a master of none at the same time is one of my biggest downfalls. It's a good thing because I don't cap myself on growth. I give myself room to grow. I have a positive, mindset when it comes to learning something new. I don't doubt myself. I don't doubt my capabilities. I trust myself. I believe in myself. It just gets to the point where I'm not honest with myself about what I can handle, about being consistent. And while knowing many things can be useful for myself and others, so knowing a little bit of everything, and not everything, like I know everything, but of what I know, it helps people, at least one person a day throughout my life. So I've helped everything that I'm pursuing. It's because in real lifetime, I have helped somebody with it. And I'm like, oh, it's not just about the internet. It's not just about trying to copy somebody else. It's real life because I've lived that experience to say I can do this, not just for one person, but for 10 people. I'm just that purposeful. Like, oh, if I can help my coworker with her technology, I can start something to where I can help hundreds of people with their technology online. Or, oh, if I can help this kid learn how to tie their shoe, then, oh, I can help 20 people learn how to tie their shoes. Like, it's just that goal driven mentality I have, except I don't know how to tame it and keep it focused on one thing. Because having multiple talents is not the problem. The problem comes when you divide your attention so much that none of your skills receive enough consistent time to become mastery. And so I was collecting possibilities instead of completing goals. Like, I was building up a long list of things I could potentially do, but not spending enough time or enough uninterrupted time becoming excellent at the thing that I had already decided to do. And so that's where it brings that full circle moment for me, because after exploring all these different monetization ideas, I find myself coming back to web development. So this is my full circle moment. I realized I had not necessarily lost interest in web development. I had allowed myself to become distracted by opportunities that appeared easier, faster, newer, or more profitable, or not profitable at all. It's just the simple thought of, hey, I can help. I can help this person do this, or I can help these people do this. Not everything is about money with me. However, I find myself realizing that as long as I can find a way from overworking and being underpaid for what I do now, I'm okay. Like, if I can find, it became like, if I can find a way out of being overworked and underpaid, I will do anything, and not enough to where I compromise my morals and integrity. Of course, no, heavens no. Like, we're not even going to go on to that side of the field. Like, yeah, I'm not compromising this body. Um, but just finding a way of escape as far as something that I'm interested in and that I want to pursue. And then that's where that middle gap comes in of being distracted because you're already on that searching high. And instead of just being patient and working it out and getting to where you want to be, you stop in the middle and you search for that new high and try to think of so many ideas of what you can do to get out of that place you feel overworked in or underpaid in or not, seen in, or, whatever the case may be for you. Instead of allowing the process to mature, I just kept restarting the process somewhere else. And every restart made me feel busy because I love working in fast-paced, busy environments, but it doesn't always move me forward. Honestly, a valid reality check for me is learning that social media will advertise almost anything as a way to make money. Like, it gets to the point where you're scrolling on TikTok, and TikTok has become the new 2000s commercial. You used to be in your bed, sleep after watching Nickelodeon, and for some odd reason, 2 o'clock in the morning, they're selling you kitchenware. They're selling you, those songs that they're trying to sell you a CD, different people's voices. They're singing those songs. I don't know if some of y'all get it, some of y'all don't. But it's certain commercials where they're playing the song of the artist in the background and they're trying to get you to buy the CD. So now you remember all these songs, the 5-second clip songs, but you're not going to buy the CD. And just like with TikTok, you're watching these 5-10-second clips, 30-second clips of people selling and advertising what they had just bought to you. So they could have bought the Mega Chameleon little people, right? And so now they're advertising to you, and this is not no advertisement. I genuinely like the game, and I genuinely, I genuinely want to make a project and paint them one day. But yeah, okay, this is not no advertisement, okay? Definitely not. But I've seen on TikTok where they're trying to promote and sell something like that so you can click on their specific link so they can make money from it. Or it could be a shirt. I did make this myself, but I'm not trying to sell it. Like they're trying to show you, sell you a shirt, or they're trying to sell to you like why you need this hat. Oh, why? Why do I need this hat? Because the back is out and you can wear your natural hair. Stuff like that. Social media TikTok has become modern day TV in a sense. Like you'd never think you'd see ads the way we do. And people are so creative with, like, they get creative with getting you to buy what they want you to buy because it's in their TikTok shop or because they got the link added to their page. And so a lot of people are literally selling stuff from home. And just because that person has the capability of selling stuff from their home because they probably got all the time in the world to do so, doesn't mean that opportunity is for you. Not every opportunity to make money is your opportunity. Like a profitable idea can still be a distraction. A good opportunity can still be the wrong opportunity for your current season. And sometimes something can work wonderfully for another person and still pull you away from the commitment you already made. You don't know what a person is committing to themselves for them to be down the path that they're going down. If you haven't even made any commitments, I suggest you really take the time out to figure out what you want. Figure out what you want to do. Like I even had a job interview with another restaurant, and the general manager told me, you got to understand, you have to know your worth. You have to know what you want. You have to know what days you want off. You have to know the amount you want to get paid. Like you cannot allow people to tell you. You have to make that decision for yourself. You have to figure out if you want to be an assistant manager temporarily and then become a general manager, or do you want this position at all? You have to figure out, do you want to just be a crew member or do you want to be the CEO? Because sometimes you're trying to just go down the path of being a crew member and you're looking at a person who's going down the path of wanting to be a CEO. Why? Because it fits their lifestyle and you realize that that's not for me. That's not the lifestyle that I'm living right now. Even if there's so much money to be presented to you, that not all money is good money, but also not just because it is good money doesn't mean you have to always take it. I mean, you have to always accept it, Sometimes you got to let somebody else get that deal because there's a better deal and opportunity for you. So I suggest you really take the time out to know what you want. Think about what you want. Think about who you are, what you like, the goal that you want to go for. Are you someone who want to be in a hot region? Or are you someone who wants to be in a colder region? Because if you're looking at someone who's taking an opportunity in Arkansas where it's much more colder than it is in Florida, and you're trying to pursue that, you're distracted because you already said out loud to yourself, you want to be in a hotter region. So why go and try to follow after someone who's in a colder region? Small stuff like that. Like, think about the commitments that you make and that you set for yourself and take the time out before letting the inner child in you look at something and covet it and be like, oh, I want that, without actually taking the time out to be rational, to logically think about it, and do much more research on what a person is trying to advertise to you on social media because they're just trying to get some clicks so they can get money. They're profiting off of your confusion. Don't allow people to profit off your confusion. Don't allow people to profit off of your distractions. Don't allow people to profit off of your lack of productivity, your stagnation. Don't give people that door. Like, close the door now, And before leaving your current goal for something trending, always ask, am I genuinely changing directions or am I simply bored with the slow part? Because each path that you go down is going to have a slow part. Like how people in real life that's about that life, they actually climb mountains, right? When you're climbing a mountain and you're on that rope and you're climbing up, I'm sure it feels boring. You want to already be at the top. You already want to see and show the world that you can do something cool and amazing. Like, don't nobody want to be stuck on the part where they're going like this, especially if you're walking up it. That's tiring, you know? So ask yourself while you're climbing up the mountain, are you genuinely bored with that part? Because once you climb up, you're gonna have to go right back down. So it's not over yet. You think just hitting the top is your peak, but guess what? You also got to bring yourself back down. You also got to bring yourself. You can't stay there. You can't stay at the top forever. You know. And so you also ask yourself, do I want this career, or do I only want the result that person posted? Because there's so many people, for me, and being in web development, so many people being like, oh, you can make 90K a year. And there's nothing wrong with saying, oh, I want to make $100,000 a year. I hear a lot of people who are in tech that be like, I only solely did it because it makes the most money. When you're a kid, you're thinking like that. When you're a teenager, you're thinking like that. A lot of us are adults now. A lot of us are adults. Yes, the income sounds good, but you got to be more reasonable to realize it doesn't matter how much income you make. If your spending habits are not matching that, you're going to feel like you're only making 1,000 a year. Or the job could be like, oh, you're making 90K a year, but with your spending habits, you feel like you're only making 9,000 a year. It's all about your mindset and your actions that follow behind your mindset, honestly. And also ask yourself, have I given my current goal enough focus time to produce results? Would I still want this new opportunity if nobody online was talking about it? And does this support my original goal, or is it competing with it? So before switching paths, always take the time to show yourself grace and get in that thinking space of, is this really for me? Like before switching, while I was in the process of wanting to switch my job, I really just realized maybe that's not for me. Maybe I really just need to go long term and stick with my first goal that I set for myself while staying at this job, going ahead and finishing my milestones and completing the milestone so that way I can finally move on to the next milestone that was set, instead of trying to hurry up and break the consistency the time and effort that you already put into that. And then, so closing out, like, this does not mean, for me personally, this does not mean I can never create my art, because I love to paint. I love to draw. Those are hobbies. Those are my hobbies. I have been tempted to want to showcase to people and try to make profit off of it, but that's not a path that I want to go down and put effort into, because I see a lot of people online, social media. Here's how I make my art. Here's what I make from my art business. Here's how to make an art business. Like, I can get so very creative, but I'm not putting that much effort into it just to get distracted. So I just settle with myself that, hey, a lot of this I'm just going to do on my time off. I'm a very slow painter, so I'm just like, I don't move fast enough to sit here and try to sell art. Like, no, I just enjoy doing it, So it's like, just because I can't make money from it doesn't mean I can't do it. And I feel like we've gotten in America to the point where we feel like everything we're good at, we have to monetize it. We have to profit off of it. And you're not someone, you don't have to keep putting a profit on yourself. Like, we're priceless. You don't have to keep putting a price tag on yourself and your skills. A lot of stuff you can keep for yourself to enjoy, or for your peers to enjoy, or for your community to enjoy. You can share it with your community, but a lot of times you don't really have to try to market and advertise, and sell your skills and your talent. Just choose one thing that you want to do and do that. So for me personally, this does not mean I can never create my art. I can never play Steam games. I can never make content. I can never or invest in real estate or explore other business ideas. It just means that I need to stop treating every interest like an immediate assignment. Everything I'm capable of doing does not need to be pursued at the same time. So right now, my responsibility is to give my original goal enough focus to discover that it can actually become. Because constantly starting over can feel like ambition, but sometimes it's just procrastination wearing a new outfit. I am done running in circles. The next shiny opportunity can wait. And I already know what I'm supposed to be building. Do you know what you're supposed to be building? If you don't, you need to go find out.